Hey, this is Ernie with RMRC. Showing you today the new RMRC BLHeli ESC programming board, and the instructions in this tutorial are also going to be applicable to the Arduino Nano. Once you plug your board in, you're going to go to your device manager. You'll see here I'm on COM 5, but you may be on a different COM port. If you don't see that or an exclamation point, something yellow, or an error, you'll want to go to the ftdichip.com/drivers/vcp.htm website. Once you do that, you're going to download either the 32 or 64-bit version of the drivers and install those. Once you do, you're going to have to restart your computer or else nothing will work from here. Once you do that, you'll be able to go ahead and continue on. And you'll see here that we have the new RMRC programming board plugged into a RMRC 15 amp ESC, and if you're using the Arduino only, you'll plug the ground pin in to the ground and then signal to D3. Okay, now that we have our ESC connected to the Arduino board or the Arduino, you're going to go ahead and set the Arduino as your interface. To do this, we're going to click on Make Interfaces and verify that the Nano with Atmega 328 is selected at 57.6 baud. What we're going to do now is actually program the Arduino that's on that board as an interface. So come down here to Arduino 4-way interface, click that. Select OK. Now select the multi-firmware for the Arduinos. Hit OK. It's going to ask you if you want to flash that firmware to the Arduino boards. Hit yes. And once you do, it's actually going to write the firmware to the Arduino. Now it's going to be the interface for us to use BLHeli Suite. And once it completes, you'll see this box pop up, and this is the verification that everything flashed OK. So now you go ahead and hit OK. And now we're ready to go to the main screen. Okay, now we're back to program the ESCs. We've already updated the Arduino with the proper interface software, and now we're going to go ahead and connect it to the ESCs. First thing, make sure your COM port is selected so you are able to talk to the Arduino, and then go up here to the Select Atmel/SI Labs interface. For the BLHeli bootloaders using the Atmel chipsets, you're going to select number 2. If you were using the SI Labs on a different one, or the Simon K bootloader, you just select 3, but in this case we're using 2. Get on to Connect, and then hit Read Setup. You'll see here there's no ESCs listed. That's normal. Don't worry about that. Hit OK. And then it's going to ask you if you want to flash the ESC because it's unknown or invalid. The reason this is that the name of the ESC is not in BLHeli Suite as of yet. Once it is, it'll pop right up. So what we're going to do is we're going to flash it with a different firmware. So go ahead and hit yes. And we need to change the firmware to the DYS SN20A. This is good for the RMRC BLHeli 15 amp and 20 amp ESCs, as well as, of course, the DYS SN20s. We're going to select the SN20 Multi. That is the firmware you want to use. That'll work for airplanes or multi-rotors. You do not select the main or tail firmwares. Those are for helicopters only, and we're not going to get into that today. And we're going to select the latest firmware, which is currently 14.2. Make sure you update your BLHeli software before you do any of this, and then go ahead, select Multi, hit OK, and it's going to ask you, do you want to flash the ESCs? Verify you have the correct firmware, and then hit yes, and it's actually writing the new firmware to the ESC currently. It'll be version 14.2. It's going to pretend it's a SN20 from DYS, and you see here it's now flashed successfully in 9.156 seconds. Hit OK, and now it read the ESC just fine. From here, you can hit Read ESC again. It'll actually verify all the information, and from here you can actually update the name of the ESC if you want to. It's a RMRC BLHeli 15 amp ESC, and you see here it's for multicopters, BLHeli version 14.2. Motor direction is normal as of right now. We will change that, and also we can change this to active braking, which is damped light, since we're putting this on a multi-rotor. And once you have those settings changed, go ahead and hit Write Setup. Now it's actually saving all that information. Hit OK, and if you want to, you can go ahead and hit Read Setup, and it just verifies that information, and it's all there. If you want to change your motor direction, you can select it here. That way you can go ahead and solder your wires to your ESC and not worry about the direction when you're building it. What you can do is hit normal for the 2 motors or reversed for another motor, and that way you can go ahead and change whatever. And once you're done making your settings, you go ahead and hit Write Setup, and it'll verify it. Hit OK, and when you're finished, you go ahead and click Disconnect. And I hope this helps everyone out. Have a good one.